Welcome back. And we turn now to another one of the races to watch on Election Day. I am talking about the Nassau County Exec race. It is a rematch between two well-known names on Long Island, current County Executive Republican Ed Mangano and former County Executive Democrat Tom Suozzi. Voter registration in the county skews slightly Democratic, but polling in the race, it shows Mr. Mangano holding a strong lead. And joining us now is the County Executive himself, Ed Mangano. Ed, I appreciate a few minutes. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Well, first of all, give a status check on how the county's doing a little over a year after Sandy did so much damage. If you could, give an idea how many people are still displaced and how much the county's come back.
Yeah, as you know, Hurricane Sandy affected 72,000 homes here in Nassau County. And I went to Washington, D.C. and fought for $6.7 billion in aid to come back to help our homeowners, to help our businesses, to help our infrastructure improve and certainly restore our environment. The federal bureaucratic process was very, very long, and as a matter of fact, the final rules for homeowners just coming back last week. To date, and we are very much in contact with New York State, we maintain one list. New York State's administering the federal dollars. They've had 3,720 letters out to people giving awards here in Nassau County. We encourage all our homeowners that are still suffering from Sandy to apply on the New York Rising program. The money's in place, the rules and regulations in place, and the dollars are there to help you restore your homes.
You know, I think most people, even critics of you, acknowledge that you were very present throughout both the horrible storm that hit and then the aftermath. But critics have said it's been a year now, and we still don't have a storm mitigation plan for Nassau County. We're just going through the storm season now. What's taking so long?
Well, first of all, it's the dollars coming down from the federal government to do these very, very, very expensive and very well-engineered projects. First, to address the mitigation plan, I put a $6.7 billion plan together and delivered it in December of last year, right after the storm. So it's just nonsense there's not a plan. In addition, the county has a comprehensive plan, and in January of this year for the federal government, there's yet another plan that's due from all the sub-municipalities that are looking to do additional work, such as school districts and villages and towns, and we're helping collate that plan. But those dollars come from the federal government, and the New York State administers those dollars. So that's where that bureaucracy lies. The fact of the matter is Tom Suozzi is mixing apples and oranges again. What Nassau County's responsibility was life safety. We are the emergency management leaders here in the county of Nassau, and we did a great job. Emergency management got an F from New York State under Tom Suozzi. We just have received the highest award from the National Weather Service, Storm Ready. And we have emergency management personnel traveling from across the country as far away as Paris, France, to understand how a county of this size, densely populated, got through that storm, 9.5 feet of tidal surge, without any loss of life. It is an amazing testament to our emergency management plans, as well as all our first responders, our emergency management professionals, our volunteer firefighters, our police, our doctors, our nurses, all working together to secure life. And that was our primary objective, and that's what emergency management does, and we've completed that. We have comprehensive plans to restore our wastewater treatment plant. As a matter of fact, the only people fighting those plans are some of the Democrats led by Tom Suozzi to try to create some type of election issue. It's just nonsense.
Well, let me ask you.
Thankfully, New York State, because we have a great relationship with the governor.
Yep. If I could, let me jump in, though, and ask you about a math question about, obviously, as we all know, a couple of years ago, for the first time since set up, NYFA took control of NASA's finances. I know they looked at the budget you guys laid out for 2014 and your 4-year fiscal plan, and they still said you guys were nowhere near ready here to get the keys back to running your own finances.
Let me just make this very. Let me make this very clear. And it was as reported in Newsday, amazingly, by Joy Brown. Tom Suozzi would have had a control period many years ago in his term if he lived by the same rules. The fact is, as soon as I came into office, they changed the accounting principles very strict, basically going from a modified accrual basis to a cash basis, which they call modified GAAP. The fact of the matter is, we came up with a plan approved by the majority of the legislature and NYFA that it would take 4 years to reach that accounting standard. Tom Suozzi left a $385 million deficit. We have it knocked down to about $104 million each year by not taking not one dime from our taxpayers to deal with the problems that he left here in the county. We're steadily moving towards those principles. Each and every year, if you look at it, comparing apples to apples on a modified accrual, we've had a surplus, and that's why you read in the papers and on the financial reports, they report a surplus for the operating year and then a gap deficit that we're not at that standard yet. And that standard will take 4 years. The Democrats in the legislature obstructed the plan, the 4-year plan to move there for 2 years while they fought over district lines, which had nothing to do with our fiscal recovery, but they held our fiscal recovery plan hostage. And that's it. It's just simple, stupid, mudslinging distortions from a desperate candidate. Well, the fact of the matter is Nassau County is in a much better place. Tom Suozzi, 2009, State of County speech, things about as bad as they can be. After his 23% tax increase, his $400 million increase in debt, and his energy tax, we had a $385 million deficit, highest unemployment rate in the state, and the lowest sales tax revenue in a 20-year period. I'm in 4 years, eliminating energy tax, 4 years, no property tax increase. We have the lowest unemployment rate in the entire state, and we have the largest growth in sales tax revenue in the entire state. Businesses and jobs are returning to Long Island. Our economy is getting better.
Let me jump in just for a time. Your good buddy, Mr. Suozzi, had a couple questions for you. I want to give you a chance to respond to them. Take a listen.
Mr. Mangano, you complain about this $65,000 raise that was given to Suozzi by the legislature when he was in office. If you're so upset about it and you're running $2 million worth of commercials on it, why did you take the money yourself and why don't you give it back? And did you cause the property taxes to go up because of the way you made a mess of the assessment system?
All right, take the raise thing first. What's your answer?
There goes Tom's again. You know, what my criticism is, Tom, while the county was suffering $385 million deficit, he found time to give himself a raise, and that just highlights the type of government that he ran with a $385 million deficit. The raise was a statute. I have rejected and refused every built-in raise he included in that $65,000 raise. So I have not accepted $52,000 in raises that he would have had for his paycheck, and I'm very proud of that. You know, we just refused those raises. $52,000 since I'm in office, I've refused.
Any regrets about the assessments that have hit Long Islanders in your term? I mean, that's been the contention. Property tax have frozen, but assessments at the end of the day hit them in the bottom.
Here's where, you know, Tom Suozzi, again, distorting the facts. He well knows, as he said in 2009, Nassau County has nothing to do with school districts' taxation. The fact of the matter is, under New York State law, the assessment system cannot raise not one more dollar than the school district asked for, period. So if the school district raises their spending by 3%, that's all the assessment system will deliver to them. The fact that people have the right to grieve their taxes, they grieved them during Tom's time, they grieved them to the time before that, and they grieve them this year. The fact of the matter is that is their right under the law. The only difference between my term and Tom Suozzi's term is that he just made people overpay and chase their dollars back. I give everybody their day in court before demanding payment and get it settled. And there's no refunds for residents since I've taken office. That saves $30 million a year. That should be commended. The fact of the matter is he's just wrong, and it's just a desperate campaign. I have not raised taxes. Everybody knows it. He's trying to somehow, you know, twist the facts. He's wrong.
Well, there's your answer, Mr. Suozzi. Ms. Mangano, I appreciate a few minutes, and I wish you the best of luck come this Tuesday.
Sure.
Okay, everybody, as you know, the races, you've heard from the candidates in both Long Island and in Westchester. When we come back, we're going to turn our eyes to New York City. Sure, the thing looks like a blowout right now here, but there has been some news late in the campaign, and Don McCarter is going to join me here for the latest on that.